Hello, and welcome to the Amuck podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Amuck podcast, home with the best Bachelor in Paradise recaps on this side of Mexico. As always, I'm your host, David Stahl, and I'm joined alongside me by my loyal compadre, producer Gary, to break down the latest drama of our favorite franchise. Producer Gary, good to see you, my man.
Good to see you too, man.
Now,
kind of far away from home this episode.
Little far away from home. The people, the longtime viewers, longtime listeners will notice that it's a different background behind me. I'm far out east on Canada's east coast for a little writing retreat for the week. So I think the internet here is run by a tiny hamster on a wheel. So we'll see how I fare. Now you'll also notice our other loyal compadre, Carson Cooper, is missing. That's because the man is, in fact, a teacher. The man has other responsibilities, and so he's teaching the youth of tomorrow. And unfortunately, simply not able to make it today. So we're missing him. However, the Bachelor in Paradise season it waits for no man.
It does not wait.
It waits for no man. And so we have yet another electric episode to jump into. We get everything. We get justice for Natasha, and then that justice gets ripped right from under her by the Bachelor producers. Once again, we see some new arrivals come in. We see my boy James get burned once again. Tough.
Well, you say we got everything. I was like, okay, it's gonna be a nice light load because we only have one episode to cover. But there was a lot of shit that went down. I would argue they could have stretched it into 2 episodes, but I'm glad they did not.
They could have easily stretched it into 2. Now I cannot wait to dive in. However, before we jump in, Gary, we gotta do what we do every week. We gotta get the brooms out, get those mops out, maybe even it's getting into fall season. We may have to clean some gutters.
There's a lot
today
of people in this house.
A lot of people in this house. We gotta do a bit of house cleaning because we are growing every week. We say it every week. All we ask for, hey, you're not getting slapped with a million ads. We're not pausing in the middle to shove some product down your throat. All we ask is if you're enjoying it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, tell a friend, word of mouth, baby. This is our call to action for the episode, and you guys have been doing a fantastic job. We also have an affiliate Instagram page at Juncture Magazines. That's JUNKTURE Magazine on Instagram. If you like sort of a cultural mood board, if you like stuff like 90s anxiety, undercover Osh pages like that, but without the ads, without someone trying to sell you a t-shirt every other post, you can give that a follow. Otherwise, thank you so much for all the support. We appreciate it so much. Now, we're going to dive into a little bit of listener email that is pertinent to this upcoming episode. First of all, we're going to give one shout out to maybe our most active new fan. Now, I don't want to butcher her name because my name has been butchered by our own listeners in a comment section
several times.
When it's written right at the bottom corner. Again, I've let it go. I'm not still mad about it. But Alicia Duquette, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you so much for the love. We appreciate you. We also, this morning, I noticed we had one person say a nice comment about how we're all good looking. And then within 2 minutes, they deleted it. They got rid of the comment. So
they took it back.
I have to imagine that they meant to comment on Dave Neal's podcast, and they go, oh, wait a second, I don't know who these 3 guys are. You got rid of it real quick. Gina K, shout out to Gina K. This one gave me a giggle. She said her biggest issue with Pieper and Brendan's scheme was not that they were disrespectful towards Natasha, but just that they were basically too stupid to coordinate it beforehand.
I mean, come on. It was not that
we
hard.
got a lot of people saying that about Pipers.
All
like,
Piper
how
had
do
to
you
do
drop
was
that
not
ball?
Talk.
Oh my God, man. If I could go back and watch that initial scene, I would do it a million times. Now, last one, shout out to Elizabeth Nunez for throwing a little shade at other podcasts. Says, is this a new podcast? Thank God there's something better than those 5 chicks or whatever podcast and that Dave guy. There we go. We had someone else suggest earlier in the month that we start watching Dave Neal's podcast.
And now we're having someone say we're better than them. So
yes, exactly. So this is our vindication. Yeah. Yes, exactly. All right, let's stop wasting time. Thanks, guys, for the support. Let's jump into episode 8, Bachelor in Paradise. Okay, thank God. We waste no time. And I wonder if the Bachelor producers This is obviously not the case, but I wonder if they heard everyone being like, "Where's the justice for Natasha?" Went back in, did a little last minute edit, and was like, "Okay, we're putting that at the front of the episode."
Yeah,
because that's the first thing we get, Gary. Is we have Joe and his. Well, I mean, Brendan has a different term for them that I'll bring up later, but basically his his support, his posse, his squad. He's squatted up and he comes down to confront the two. Joe is given I don't know. Joe is like he goes full dad mode, but however, very different vibes still than how they approached Chris.
Yeah,
and
less
Alana.
hostile. Like much less hostile. Like
far less hostile.
He's just like, hey man, people are kind of mad at you. You want to explain yourself. Chris had no room to talk.
Yeah. And I will say also, some people thought that Joe was on a bit of a power trip last episode. So I guess they probably think that was continuing today. I personally disagree. I think someone had to be confrontational. But I agree, Gary. I mean, I thought he was too nice. I mean, he was a little bit too cool uncle and not enough disappointed dad to me, or upset dad. And second of all, Riley, where are you at, dude? I love Riley. Great episode for Riley. Perhaps the horniest episode we've ever seen a contestant have on this show.
Yeah.
However, man, you're talking about a code. You're talking about a man's got to have honor. You better keep that same energy when it's your friend, man. And I don't know. We've talked about it enough. I might even have to. I got to pull out a Dumbledore quote for this episode. And I don't know. In the Venn diagram of fan bases, I'm wondering what the crossover is between Bachelor Nation.
It's you. That's it. It's just one person.
I think it might be, but maybe one person will appreciate this.
Maybe two. Maybe two. One of our close friends actually is a big Harry Potter fan, and he watches.
Yes.
So
okay. So there's at least one person. There's probably a few more out there. Who knows? But yeah, Dumbledore quote. One of my favorites says, "There's all kinds of courage," said Dumbledore, smiling. "It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but just as much to stand up to our friends." Well, Brendan,
where you at, Riley?
Or not Brendan, I should say. Riley. Joe still being a little, I don't know, whatever. They did confront him. But Brendan, if you looked bad last episode, it doesn't get better. Like, it's very clear, first of all. Was it clear to you, Gary? It was to me that they had ironed out their stories. What did you think? Like, it was clear that Brendan and Pieper
polished and like they knew what points they were gonna hit, and like it seemed rehearsed almost. Like Pieper was pretending to be Joe. Like they knew where they were getting confronted, and they were in the room together. They're like, "Yo, okay," and they were doing the confrontation. And Brendan's like, "Okay, I'm gonna say this, and this, and then if we hit all those points, then we're good. We'll go home. It'll be good." I think they knew they were going home.
Well, I mean, first of all, the damage was already done. Yeah. The court of public opinion has already spoken. Pieper, we've seen you talking about your 80K followers. Whoa, nice. Ooh. First of all, not anymore. But yeah, we've already seen the other side of the army. It's far too late. I think Brendan honestly just wanted to monologue and then drop the mic. No questions asked. He pretty much talks for 2 minutes straight and then goes, "Look, I'm leaving this. I don't owe you anything. I don't know. I just leave this behind."
We're leaving our own terms. It's like, okay, dude, no, you're not. But
yeah, I did love that move. Like, we've decided on our own volition to leave the beach. It's always funny. I wonder how these things are edited. Like, maybe it was like 3 hours after, whatever. Yeah. Maybe it was like an hour and a half. So, but it was edited in a hilarious way where they were talked to 5 minutes before.
Yeah. To your point, though, of them being very polished. Every other time Brendan has talked through this whole time, whenever he starts a sentence, he doesn't know where it's gonna go. Like, he doesn't know where he's gonna end up. It's just he's pulling words out of his ass the whole time, but this time he knew exactly what to say. So
well, but I mean, and this time when he does get off that like very strict script, it's very obvious what type of guy he is. And I said it last time, like, good luck, Pieper. I don't know how she doesn't just straight up walk away when he's talking to her, and he goes, "Oh, Joe and his army of disgruntled females."
Yeah.
What kind of term is that? Disgruntled females, man. If I was a chick and my boyfriend says that to me, bye. I don't want to be on the wrong end of that once things inevitably blow up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that he was so patronizing to Demi, being like, Oh, I didn't know you wrote the rule book on relationships. Again, we brought it up before. Demi, I don't know if you should necessarily be the one leading the charge as someone who did come in to the show with a girlfriend. last time it was on.
Yeah.
However, still, it was so, again, patronizing, demeaning. The only positive for Brendan is at least he got to share the SUV. Him and Pieper, they leave together.
It
they
almost
look
didn't
miserable,
look like
though.
they wanted to be together, though.
They looked miserable. I think they're at least smart. Like, I think they just took a different approach of like, okay, it looks better if we at least look like we're in love. But Demi had a fantastic quote. She was pretty much like, I'm paraphrasing here, but she's like, oh, well, they're the villains of their own story, which is so true. They mapped this thing out. They tried to control the narrative. They thought, oh, we're going to be the Jade and Tanner. We're going to be the whatever couples have made it out. And we're going to blow up. And blow up you did.
In the wrong direction.
In the wrong
But don't
direction.
worry, Pieper with her master's degree in marketing, she's gonna get those followers right back.
Yeah, I missed that line. So she did. Wasn't she saying like, oh, I like, didn't she say something along the lines of like, oh, I have a master's degree in marketing, I'm able to boost my followers?
Yeah, she's like, I could get followers if I wanted to, or something along those lines. It's like, well,
well, like, you're clearly here for like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I don't. Their argument doesn't make sense in terms of like, we've spent more time together now than we ever had the chance to before. Okay, that sounds like a issue, not an issue me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you? Okay, so then make time in real life. Like, if you're not willing to do it before the show, you're probably not willing to do it after. I don't know.
You don't come on like this show isn't like couples therapy. You don't come on the show to like work out your issues or like strengthen your connection. It's to meet new people, man. Like, that's what it is.
And in conclusion, we end up seeing them move away. I don't know if you're going to mirror my sentiments, Gary. I think Brendan is just a massive D-bag. Like, there's no doubt to me that this dude is just kind of a dick. I know he's friends with Dr. Joe, who I think both of us probably like. I know he's friends with a lot of the guys we like. That's why
all his friends I love. But it's just like this edit. Maybe you can't even argue that's an edit thing, Ethan. Like the fact that he came on the show, it's just
I know a lot of guys who are very respectful to me, who are very nice to me every time I see them. And then you see how they treat their girlfriends or girls at the bar. Like, there are two sides to a lot of guys. You can be a chill bro and be a douchebag to women. This is not an unprecedented thing. You know what I mean? Like, right. You can be really nice to your friend Dr. Joe, and that's the only side of you he really sees. He's seen you interact with girls at the bar in this really friendly setting. But when things get tough, like, okay, there are your true colors, and you look like a dick. Then we get the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Riley and Marissa.
God damn. Serena and Joe want to say they're the strongest couple, and then Abigail and Noah, but I don't know, man. The sexual.
First of all, Abigail and Noah. What are we talking?
They're not
about?
the strongest.
What are we talking
couple.
about?
Let's be real.
The strongest couple. You two are pretty much like two sacks of potatoes next to each other. I'm not trying to be. It's just there's no electricity there. And so then you contrast it with Riley and Marissa. I mean, that was simply the horniest 7 minutes of Bachelor content I've ever seen in my life. What are your thoughts on them as a couple? Are they leaving here engaged?
Gary? I think so. I don't see anyone coming in between them.
Yeah.
And unless like Riley's perfect woman steps down those stairs, but I can
only see Riley being the one. I know we do get a preview of Damar asking Marissa out. I literally guarantee that's just him going over to talk to her, and then she says, I'm with Riley.
Is gonna leave, it would be Riley, but like I don't even see that happening at all.
No, the man has a code. I know we were ripping on before, you got to stand up to your friends, but no. But
also, while I was watching that date, I just kept thinking in the back of my head, like, this guy is a lawyer. I'm assuming he still has a professional career outside of the show.
Hey, what's wrong? Hey, what's wrong with that? Dude, what's happening?
It's just funny to imagine this guy on public, like national TV, licking.
He shows up to defend you
off some guy, and then you're defending a murderer like the next day.
He shows up to defend you. He's got a little bit of whipped cream still in his cheek or something. Like, no, I don't like my odds. This man's head is not in the game right now. They were one of my favorite couples until I saw her licking whipped cream off his toes, though. Now I'm either rooting for them to break up or for me to get hit by a car. Those are the only two options. We do have a fantastic, I wrote down a few potential quotes of the episode this week, Gary. We had a few good ones. Wells says, if you can suck on a toe, you can get engaged by the end of this thing, which I think is a valid point. Coming in, I didn't think that would be a quote that we hear, but
hey, I see
no issues with that
actually
equation.
Jumping backwards in time. I forgot to touch on this, but I think this is my quote of the episode. Brendan goes, "I didn't intentionally mislead anyone. I just withheld information." So you lied.
That's a great one, dude.
So you misled
That's a great one.
Like
he had a few like that last week too. It's not the same thing, but like the whole idea of like you have selective hearing, or he had a few where she was like, he said, "I said this," and Natasha goes, "Nope, you never said that," and he goes, "Well, no, not with words. Like it's not the exact one, but it's like, dude,
you can't say you have selective hearing and that you're like withholding information. Like it just you can't play that card.
You are living in a different reality." And then so
he's
Riley
living
Marissa,
his own truth though.
He is living his own truth.
It's a bachelor cliche that we have not got enough of.
Go live your own truth off the beach. And so we saw Riley and Marissa. They I guess they go set before the rose ceremony. We don't need to get into it, but I was wondering strictly the time logistics of this. Is everyone waiting on them, or is
I feel like they might have been waiting on them.
We can't start yet. Yeah.
That's why the
power move, to say the
ceremonies
least.
go so late every time. There's
people are just banging
24/7. Yeah.
All right, so we see a few different new couples that we got to touch on briefly because it was weird. We jumped into the cocktail party. Ivan and Kendall. I love how it's just mentioned. Like we're supposed to know that.
Well,
like people are going through.
Like,
there's a few couples.
Till he gave the rose, right? Like that's the first.
No, it's mentioned. Once before
mentioned.
Where it's like, oh, there's a couple couples popping up, Ivan and Kendall, and I was like, wait, sorry, you can't just mention bomb drop. And yeah, look, I like both of them individually. I actually wouldn't even hate in a different, like out of any context, I wouldn't hate them together, but it's just like, Kendall is not ready. And we see later, Kendall is not ready to fall in love.
Yeah.
Not ready. And then James and Tia. Dude, know what I wrote after? I wrote, James and Tia, couple of paradise. Now, if anyone doesn't know, I'll give a brief little rundown of my history with James. When he came out of the box on Katie's season, I declared this man is a future bachelor. I fell in love with him. I thought he was well dressed. I thought he was jacked. I thought I thought he had a good, interesting personality.
Total package.
Living in LA. He has a real job, but he has this thick New York accent. He's a layered guy. This guy's like an onion. Turns out the guy has the personality of an onion. It's just, man, very disappointing. And then we'll get into it later. It was a brief high for me to be like, he's excited for the first time in paradise.
No.
And then we have our other Blake Monar. Yeah, dude, because I remember that's his name because I remember it was a rare instance where we had two Blake M's in the same season.
Yeah, he was a very brief. He was very brief stay though.
Very brief, but we have a slight connection to him. I don't even know if you remember Gary. Do you remember?
I don't.
Okay, so we'll jump in when he arrives, but a little teaser. Tammy and man, okay, that was probably the crux of the cocktail party is Tammy and Thomas's breakup. First of all, insane line. Tammy goes, "You're my best friend." Excuse me, you met him 3 days ago.
Dude,
Tammy, you need better friends.
Barstool Trent actually tweeted, he's like, if Thomas is Tammy's best friend, she needs some new friends like ASAP.
She needs some new friends.
Responded to it with
she thought it was hilarious.
But
she needs to join like a softball league or like a pottery class, just something to meet some new people. Just put your feelers out there because I think at this point, so it sounds like it's just a volume game. Sounds like you just need to meet more individuals.
But do you think that was just a Hail Mary? You know, the classic like I
literally wrote down the words Hail Mary. There's nothing I hate more than just being like, I'm in love with you, or like we're meant to be together. Like you
gotta pull it out on Paradise though, especially if you're going home.
The game's the game. Tammy knows the game. She goes, I love this quote too. I gave him everything. Did you? Is that even like just again, time-wise, logistically, is it possible to give someone everything in 72 hours? I feel like it would have been a rush. Like I simply don't know how that could be true. Another Hail Mary. It was you know what? You may have to edit this out, Gary, but I have a little bit of a hot take because I don't really care about birthdays. I don't care about my birthday. I don't, if you want to celebrate your birthday, make a big deal out of it, I'm happy to do so. But personally, as a bit of a Tammy hater, I'm happy to go on the record and say, I thought it made it extra hilarious that it was on her birthday. I thought it did, just because it just pure comedic value. Like the tears were falling. Aaron is just sitting over there so happy.
On top of it all.
Oh my God, man. It was so tough to watch. I feel like this isn't even our first Bachelor in Paradise birthday breakup. I would love if one of our listeners could fact check me on that. I feel like there's been one
There's
before.
probably an archive of them somewhere. It's had to have happened at least once.
But the tough part, dude, was like the fact that Tammy really was dragging it out. And this is my favorite exchange of the episode. It's a couple of quotes here. She goes, "What's missing from us that you're feeling elsewhere?" And he goes, "It's things are just a little more stable." And she goes, "With us?" Like, no, you're getting, how delusional are you? Like, yeah, things are just too stable with us. That's the issue. Like, first of all, have you met Tammy? Is stable the first word that would come to mind? No. I just got in a huge fight with your ex-boyfriend because you forced us to make out right in front of him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why she kept pushing him to say exactly why he didn't like her. It was painfully awkward. And I mean, it just seemed like Thomas was kind of like, it's not, also, we have been Thomas haters in the past. Can we stop villainizing him just because he liked someone more after dating you for 3 days? How is he the bad guy there? Am I nuts?
No, he's not. He's been getting too much hate. We made a clip. We mentioned it last week.
Yeah, we did mention.
He's always gonna be like cast as the villain now, just because he's Thomas and Aaron's fucking.
I think he is shedding it this season successfully.
I think he is.
Aaron's trying his best to keep that.
A little bit.
Aaron's trying his best to keep that flame alive, but I think people are starting to just be like, no, he's a little bit annoying about his height. Everything else is pretty much fine. But Aaron does head over to the bar, request that Wells pour him a champagne flute of Tammy's tears, and then we basically move on to the roast ceremony. Again, we mentioned it last week, though. The best part of the Tammy breakup is the fact that, you know what Tammy would say to Tammy? She'd be, "Oh, buck up, like be stronger." Like she's all about like, no tears, big girl pants, put them on, and here she is, just
the biggest breakdown of the season so far.
I think so.
Pretty close.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it was just
Hurricane Demi was a little bit shorter lived, but
Hurricane Demi was shorter lived. Tammy's cry face is all time though. I could, again, like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I don't hate her. It's just so spectacular for comedic value that I could just watch that gif on a loop all day long. Now let's jump into the rose ceremony. Quick little point. We've said it before and we've had people disagree with us. We've had 95% of people agree with the sentiment though. Make Wells host. Make Wells host. The way he navigated that Natasha situation. What do you think of that, Gary? He gives her a rose because of the whole Brendan situation.
Yeah, I was literally clapping in my living room. Round of applause for not only Natasha, but just for like the producers to like give her that chance and be like, "Yo, you got fucked over, so we're gonna let you keep going." I thought it was great.
And then they sweep it away from her again and give her Brendan's best friend.
Do you know what would be the most Bachelor thing ever? Is they planned this to happen. Like they gave her the rose and they're like, let's bring Joe on. He's gonna be a good match, but he's also friends with Brendan.
I don't see any other way that being the case. I literally think that they did just that because there's no way they also don't whisper into Joe's ear like, oh, by the way, Natasha would love a date and like everyone else is kind of paired up. Like they're pulling the strings. Of course, they wanted that exact dynamic to happen. And well, as much as I love Natasha, it was electric to watch. I mean, it worked out. I mean, that's just salt in the wound for Brendan and Natasha watching from home, being like, shit, she got the full Cinderella edit. Like she just, the full fairy tale edit comes to a close. Also, I had it written down here, looking at Riley and Marissa, like they're basically ready to get engaged at the rose ceremony. I completely forgot that Connor was ever a factor in there. Holy shit.
I don't think he really had a chance.
Like, I was going to say, do you think anyone was watching that sort of love triangle form and be like, I think she's going to come back to Brendan?
I hope not. That Connor B's got some super fans out there, but
he does. Yeah, we've had a few like I thought we were going to get more hate. We uploaded a clip the other week being like, is Connor B's pity party gone too far? Which was I came up with the title, so you can blame me. But I thought we were going to get some hate. pretty much universal agreement of
Everyone
people
was
being like,
nah.
yeah, I'm saying it's just like, give us a break for a couple seasons. I'm happy to have him back. But yeah, I've seen enough Connor B tears to last a lifetime.
Yeah.
Now, man, again, Ivan and Kendall, super weird. Jasenia leaves. We lose a bunch of people.
We lost some good girls this rose ceremony.
Deandra
Even Demi. Honestly, I'm gonna miss Demi. I'm gonna.
Man, we lost some
honest.
power hitters.
We did.
Like we talked before. Deandra, obviously a beautiful woman, seems very emotionally intelligent. She kindly gave Ivan the friendship rose a couple weeks ago. Demi. Here's a question. Demi, is she a first ballot Bachelor in Paradise Hall of Famer?
100%.
She's going in the Hall of Fame.
I think she is like Bachelor in Paradise, like defined. Like that's what if I was gonna like show someone the show, I'd show them clips of Demi. I'd be like, this is what you're missing out on. Is this this right here?
I'm a big Survivor fan for the people who aren't longtime listeners to this podcast. And so I'm imagining like one of the all-star seasons. I mean, Bachelor in Paradise is already an all-star season, but if you're picking like the top 10 electric people to have on the show, it's Demi. Yeah, it's your
it's
first,
like
second, or third choice.
She rides that line so nicely of being like playing the game, but also being like there, like open, wanting to explore stuff. It's just like she's kind of like in the middle, you know? She just like does it all.
And Joe alludes to that exactly, Gary, is that like, you know, she is definitely playing a character at times.
Yeah.
And it's tough to gauge where the line blurs, right? Because she obviously she had her feelings hurt. And I do appreciate how she's even honest and like, I'm embarrassed. I'm frustrated. Like she talks about her emotions in a very honest way. Yeah. I don't know. But my bit, like, look, Demi's fantastic. I am shocked that Jasenia is leaving without a man. Like, I honestly thought that one of the guys would just be like, look, I'm not pointing at any specific girls, but one of the guys would just be like, all right, well, this is one of the most personable. I know some people think she's a mean girl, but this is one of the most personable, beautiful women I've ever seen. I'm in. I'll give you a rose. See what happens. I was literally praying
for a curveball, just like someone throw it to Jasenia, just cause. Like,
yeah.
But...
Well, it did seem to. I thought something was going to happen with Aaron.
Yeah.
Because Demi seemed. Of course, it's probably an edit, but Demi seemed like kind of surprised or disappointed. I thought, really? Like they don't seem that romantic. I think Aaron has a bit of a habit too, also of coasting. Yeah. Like he'll have a date, it'll go pretty well, and then you just kind of won't talk to the girl
them for 3 days, and it'll be like, bro, where'd she go? It's like, dude.
Happened with Tammy, happened with Becca, happened with Chelsea. Like, dude, you're dating straight up gorgeous women. You gotta put in some modicum of effort.
Yeah.
You can't just eat quesadillas on the beach next to James for 4 hours at a time. Dear Lord, get it together, my man. But what not? No, we do love Aaron though. That scene at the end where he's popping out Bachelor facts.
I love that. That was
so me straight up chuckling. I love that. Facts, big facts. Lil Jon arrives. Okay, sweet. Shifts the energy honestly, immediately.
Hot take. You might not agree with this, but I didn't hate him. I think he was
he changed my mind.
He exceeded expectations highly.
He exceeded expectations as well. Again, just make Wells host.
I'm kind of on board with the celeb host though too. It's cool.
I think it's worked pretty well. Yeah. I will say that. Also, I got to make a quick apology. I knew it in the moment, dude. I don't know if you saw this comment, but someone was nice enough to correct me. In the moment, I knew his name was not Tyrell Burgess.
Yeah,
it's Titus Burgess from last week. I thought
you were wrong, but I didn't want to correct you and then me be wrong. So I was like, I'm just gonna let it ride. But yeah.
No, I know what I think I was doing. I think I was conflating him and Ty Burrell from Modern Family. Yeah, I think I threw their names together. Yeah, but very different guys. But I feel like we didn't get enough of Titus Burgess. Honestly, he was electric.
Permanent host candidate. He could be.
I don't know. I think if we're going permanent host, I just want Wells.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
If they want to, I would be down for Wells to be the Bachelor host. Huge shoes to fill. But for Bachelor in Paradise, I think the celeb hosts are working. I think it's working. I was skeptical at first. Yeah. And Blake arrives now. Okay, so I'm going to tell you our connection to Blake Monar. So we had our boy who's coming on the show next week, not our show, the Bachelor in Paradise show, Ed Weisbro. And if you haven't seen that interview, we have an interview with Ed Weisbro where he opens up all about his experience on the show, how he feels his edit was a bit inaccurate, what he's really like, all that stuff on our channel. Just search up Run Amuck Podcast, Ed Weisbro. But we asked him who are two people, and I believe Kenny said this name as well. We have an interview with Kenny if you guys want to check that out. Two people, like someone who didn't get enough shine on the show. They said Jay Smith, I believe his name was, who, cool guy, was on Claire and Tasha's season, but also Blake Monar. They both are friends with him. They both hang out with him on a regular basis. Very attractive guy. Very
attractive, and seems like a nice guy too.
Seems like he has a fantastic personality.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I like this guy. Did you remember him being that? Because I remember when he left, I actually thought like, this seems weird that he's gone this early.
I don't know. I don't really remember him, so maybe I didn't have like at that point in the season. There's so many guys, it's just like hard to know everybody. But I think he was definitely a missed opportunity for.
Well, I was surprised he had a personality because I thought he's obviously attractive.
But and usually those guys who go home early, it's just like no personality, get them out.
Well, it's also just a numbers game of like maybe, but I think A, just not enough time to see everyone's personality.
Yeah.
And B, I think he was gone from Claire's season quite early. So like he wasn't even there for Tasha's season, I think was the deal. So we only literally saw very little bit of him. But first of all, has the franchise not learned? So he comes in, Tia is enamored immediately with him. And you know what? I'm just realizing now. So we always hear like, oh, you were my number one. You were like, oh my gosh, you are my list, blah, blah, blah. And I'm willing to admit this right now. I'm dumb. And new listeners are going to learn that quickly. I'm a sheep for the edit. I'm a sheep for the producers. Whatever direction they want me to go, I'll believe it. I just walk in that direction like a dumb zombie. But I always imagined that was a hypothetical list, hypothetical ranking. No, obviously not. They obviously give a list of people producers they want to see. Yes. Yeah. And like that was obvious the moment I thought about it, but I just never processed that. And I thought, you know what? I think that was the only name on Tia's list. Because again, no offense to Blake Monar, but why is this guy getting picked otherwise?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because immediately when he came in, James's face fell. Tough to watch.
My favorite part is like Tia's like describing her perfect man. She's like, oh, he's jacked. He's like good looking. He's a nice guy. And he has tattoos. And to be fair, James checks all those boxes except for one.
He's not a tatty daddy though. And he said it. Oh, the look on his face when he goes, I'm not a tatty daddy. That's a sad sentence for a grown man to have to say.
Yeah.
To admit that you're not a tatty daddy. And you know what? I have no tattoos, but I almost think being a tatty daddy is more of a state of mind, more than a reflection of the amount of ink on your arm. I would go as far as to say that even if James had full sleeves of both enormous biceps, I still don't think he's a tatty daddy.
Yeah.
Not with that hair. Yeah. Not with that hair, my man.
You gotta let the hair.
You're a vanilla shake, my dude.
Man.
You are a piece of white Wonder Bread. You are a blank piece of paper. You got to spice something up with the look. Also, go on to James's Instagram. I was looking through last night. He uploaded a picture, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, of him with no product in his hair.
Mm-hmm. Gorgeous.
Dude, gorgeous head of hair.
Let it run free, man.
And he goes, this is why I don't let it go free. And everyone in the comments is like, you're an insane person. Like it looks so bad all the time. Otherwise, it literally looks like you just put on a motorcycle helmet. Anyways, my only beef with the Tia and Blake date, we can get into the good aspects. We got to leave the ATVs behind. How many leads do we almost have to see die on this show before we abandon the ATVs?
And why is everyone a professional driver too? Like they're going so fast.
I know.
Like what?
So fast. Blake, chill out, man. We saw Bree go crazy fast on Matt James's season. We saw Katie flip it with, I think it was with Michael. Holy, I feel like we've almost lost 3 different leads to these puppies flipping. But anyways, I don't know if you caught this, but Tia goes like, oh, you're hot, you're this, and you have a brain in your head. Do you think that was a direct shot at James?
I don't. That's what got me. I was like, I think it's just a general like history thing. Maybe she's dated some dumb guys.
An indirect shot at James.
But come on.
Well, okay, I'm trying to think like
it's a shot at James no matter what.
Look, I suppose people don't think he's as much of a hunk as I am, or as I am. As I do. But he's not ugly. So I'm trying to think like what is missing? I gotta think. I think it's just boring because he seems very nice. When she leaves on the date, he goes like, well, that's what paradise is for. He's very gracious about it. He's not pissed. He's not volatile. All the people like him. Like everyone's like, oh, James can't catch a break. I think he either just isn't that interesting, which is so harsh to say, or he doesn't know how to transition something from a friendship into something electric and romantic. He just doesn't have that spark, which a lot of guys I think struggle to make that transition.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have any inclination we can prescribe what's wrong with James?
I think it's just a time thing, because every time they said it, like every Monday fresh start. So like maximum of time with Tia was like probably like a few days, 3 or 4 days max.
Yeah,
that's not enough time, I don't think, to just like get a strong connection going. And then another guy walks down the stairs Monday morning. I don't know.
Well, if it's her guy, like he didn't stand a chance in that instance.
Yeah, that's fair. But I guess
he was there first. He was on the beach the first days. Like you couldn't spark anything with anyone. I don't know. It's just like I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't have much game.
Hey, hot take, him and Natasha. Like they both got nothing going for them.
Why?
Now.
Because they both got nothing going for them. Yeah, that was my thought too. I was like, James is gonna go with Natasha. Like, why? They haven't gone for each other in the weeks that they've been there.
Friendship roses back and forth.
Sure, just right to the end. Yeah, just enjoy your vacation.
And then the producer be like, "So, are you gonna get engaged?" And like, nah.
I think part of it with these guys too is that I think some guys like a James, like an Aaron, are just used to being the hottest guy at the bar, and so they've never had to have any game ever,
and they just never have competition, and now they have
everyone is the hottest guy at the bar.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so that's a tough pill to swallow. I thought it was a fantastic date though. They're talking about like, oh, it feels like I've known you my whole life, blah blah blah. It felt like an actual, like, very real connection. We love Tia. We've said that on the record many times, and we didn't even see her before this season. We've said we love her like 800 times. What were your thoughts on them as a couple overall, Gary?
I think they're honestly no shade to James, but I think it's just like a no-brainer that those two. Yeah. Like it just makes sense. Tia's personality is like big. And I just think next to James, she makes James look small, and you don't want a guy like James
does make
to
him
look small because he's fucking massive.
Because what else has he got?
Exactly.
If he's not looking big, that's his whole shtick.
Yeah. So he's gonna need someone with like maybe toned down personality, someone low key.
Yeah,
I think that's more of his vibe. So
and Tia mentioned like, oh, I need someone with a calming personality. Blake seems like that. I don't know. I'm just really into them. I don't know if they leave together. It's always tough with couples at this late of a stage.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of thinking they may have been not anything sketchy. I think there may have been a few. I don't know. I guess they were really open and honest about like people are gonna think we've talked before and we haven't.
Well, that's what my girlfriend has like PTSD from all these couples coming on and knowing each other. Because she's like, do they know each other? Like it seems like they know each other. It seems like they were together before this, but I don't think.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with throwing a few messages back and forth beforehand, though. Like they may have just been in the DMs a little bit, just initial flirting, whatever. But I'm into them. I'm green light ahead, and then we get coming down the stairs. Dr. Joe seems like just the nicest dude in the world.
Yeah.
Now he comes down and Natasha goes, "Oh my gosh, like I'm so attracted to his calm energy." I thought that was hilarious. It's like you would have gone out with a palm tree and sunglasses. Like you're attracted to the fact that he's a warm body that's walking down the stairs that isn't looking to screw you over. I'm not mean to sound harsh, but I think it's like almost talking herself into the fact of like, all right, I'm due for the fairy tale ending. Like, and I don't know, maybe they would have, I don't know, like maybe they would have hit it off, but, and he did seem like the perfect guy to come down. Like there's no safer pick, right? In all Bachelor Nation.
It seemed to be going good until the whole Brendan shit went down. I thought they would have been good. I forgot that him and Brendan were like good friends.
I went on Joe's Instagram. Go. They're so close.
Yeah,
they do so. Did you check them out?
I did. But like
they do
going
so
into
much
the date,
together.
I was like, let's go. Natasha's gonna get her fairy tale ending, and then they brought up Brendan. I was like,
I forgot how close they were too. I'd seen some of that stuff during quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, he's such a safe pick. I don't mean that in a bad way. Yeah, like maybe if Ivan wasn't down on the beach already, that would have been the other like really safe, nice guy. But man, honestly, I didn't really I kind of disagree. I didn't really see the chemistry off the start, but I think
maybe
what
I was
it
just
was,
like, rose tinted glasses. I was
yeah,
just like, let's go,
maybe.
Natasha. Like,
but I don't think that's on either one of them not being into each other. But I think like you could see them as they're going to the date. Joe's like, oh, so Brendan, eh? Like, excited to hear what happened with that. So I think there already was some knowledge of like something is not right. Brendan's not here. You're not telling me about something. And it happened with my best friend. So I think there was like he didn't know everything, but some apprehension and some weird vibes to start off the date. Man, I wish it could have worked, but there was also so much even if there wasn't the whole Brendan situation, there's just so much pressure for them to hit it off. Like the whole beach is projecting their fantasies and expectations onto the date. Like it's just,
well, and as they're walking off, they're like,
let's slow down and see if
you
you have anything in common.
Get her back by curfew. It's like, okay, well, like now I need to make
Don't
this
you
work.
Dare fall in love with anyone
everyone's
else.
Gonna kill me.
Snap your goddamn. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm a single guy. Like I did not ask to be. No, again, Natasha's fantastic, but like pretty much handcuffed to this relationship right off the bat because something didn't work out and you're the next guy down the beach. But anyways, Natasha was so nice about it too. Like she was like, he seems like a nice guy, but I could tell he was weirded out. I also saw people commenting on his Instagram being like, what are your thoughts on the whole situation? Like, shut the fuck. What? Shut up.
Yeah.
Who cares of it? It's his best friend. Like, yeah, you can think, what my best friend did is a really douchey way to treat a woman. Why do I owe you that over a public statement?
Yeah.
Who cares? Go form your own opinions. What do you need me, a reality star, to be your role model for? You go figure out how you think about the situation, and that's your opinion. Like, it's like not everyone needs to make a public statement about how they feel about their best friend. Like,
I think especially in the Bachelor universe, it's really like magnified. But people on the internet need their opinion validated or even formed for them. Like it's just they can't have their own opinion. It's like, I need someone else to validate this, and then I'll hop on the bandwagon. So I think that's probably
at the same
what they're
time
looking for.
That's what we're riding off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the crux of a recap podcast. Yeah. So don't listen to Joe to tell you what to think. We'll tell you what to think.
Listen to us.
Because we have all the answers. The 23, 24-year-old morons in their rooms. Yeah. Now let's jump into Serena and Joe, man. She is so smitten. I love it. I didn't realize just how in love she was. We said last week, I think we did pat us on the back. We did call that we said we think she'd be willing to move to Chicago, like do what Kendall was not willing to do. And I could not feel stronger about that now. Also, Joe was only 35. I got reminded of that. I truly convinced myself that he was a 6-year-old union worker. Like I did not, like 35 is not crazy old.
No,
it's like a big age gap,
but it's not crazy. Like,
no, it's not the craziest thing ever.
No.
It's not. I am very optimistic about them.
Like the age gap should be a non-factor as far as their relationship.
Yeah.
I think.
I wish Joe, I thought this would have been cute if like Serena was saying like, oh, I've got something big to tell you. Should I say it? I thought it would have been a nice move and a kind of a mature move if you were like, yeah, but do you mind if I say something first? And take that dive for her. Yeah. How about you initiate it then? It's very clear she's going to say it back. It couldn't be clearer. Be like, oh yeah, but before you do, I'm in love with you. You know what I mean? Like just give her some comfort. She's obviously going to say it back, but whatever. They exchange the I'm falling in love with yous. And then we get Kendall on the other side of the beach. Poor Ivan. He is just having to watch this go down. I mean, that relationship doesn't stand a chance. Poor guy. He really came into this experience feeling very confident and just a tough go.
Justenia should have stayed with Ivan, man.
That what could have been, dude. What could have been.
They were a power couple in my eyes for sure.
Yeah. I'm hoping maybe next time they run
Natasha,
it back.
Though, after this.
Just stop pairing people. Just pairing together all the little misfit toys on the island.
You have to.
Together.
You got it.
That's what I do at the end of every Bachelor Paradise season 2.
Oh, maybe they can get together.
You know what? Ivan and James, I'm seeing some looks.
Hey.
I don't know what the rules are here, but I don't know. I'm seeing some pairing.
You have to. You gotta hold out hope. We're champions of love. We want to see it work out.
We are champions of love. Speaking of which, am I just super inexperienced in long-term relationships, or is like a year and a half breakup a decent chunk of time? She goes,
that's what my girlfriend was saying.
It's been
She's
a year
like,
and a half, so
"That's
it's
a
pretty
long time."
Yeah. She goes, yeah, it's been a year and a half, so it's still pretty raw. Like, fair, but it's not that short term. Like she says it's fair. The quote was fairly recent. To me, that's not really what fairly recent
especially
is.
for a 2-year relationship, a year and a half, you've almost gone through your entire relationship at that point, being not together. Like if it was a 10-year relationship and you like it was a divorce, and a year and a half, maybe that's not enough time for you to like get your whole life back on track. But
I'm coming up with this off the top of my head, but actually no, it's not true. I was gonna say 50% rule, but that doesn't really work. If you're in a 10-year relationship, it shouldn't take you 5 whole years.
No. But it does scale a little bit.
It should scale, yeah. Well, maybe we'll have some engineers, some of our engineering friends work on the perfect equation.
We'll break it down for you guys. We'll release a document.
A little whiteboard, yeah. But that being said, a year and a half, like, come on. And I get the beach is triggering to come back to, so don't come. What are you doing? Like, honestly, Kendall, just go home. Look at him. He's over. Like, this sounds harsh. He's over you.
Either
he's just said he's fallen in love.
Yeah, play the game. Like,
no, you're not gonna fall in love. She's not ready. Ivan's a distraction. Like, just go home. This is sad to watch. Like, just clinging on to something that is deader than dead.
Yeah, it's
painful. Oh my gosh. So then that's how we end the show. We're gonna see what happens, but I really don't think that they're in. I don't think Serena, Pieper, and Joe are in jeopardy with Kendall at all. Like, he's just over her.
Yeah.
He's over. If you're willing to kiss her right in front of him on the beach, well, then you're over her.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
Like, you just don't care about her. And this is, again, sounds harsh, but her feelings are just not in the forefront of your mind. Clearly, Serena's are. At the same time, I didn't watch that season, but didn't Kendall also, she apparently did the same thing to Joe. Again, that wasn't after a breakup, but that was after they were hanging out on the beach. She went on a date with someone else and was kissing him right in front of him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, obviously
the shoe. You're gonna dish it out. You gotta take it.
You gotta take it.
But are you on board with the I love you? You think it's perfect, like good timing on their part?
I'm into it. Yeah. I mean,
my girlfriend was saying, she's like, seems way too quick, and I was like trying to explain. I'm like, they've been dating for like weeks at this point, and it's like, as Brendan was saying, uninterrupted time. You know, like that's like it's kind of like the hyperbolic time chamber of relationships. Yeah. It's just like.
And if there's anything we do on this podcast, it's listen to Brendan's mantras. It's when Brendan speaks, we listen. But that is a true. Yeah, I mean, it is that sort, and that's the process. I mean, yeah. I mean, if I'm going into this show believing that people can get engaged, maybe we have some skeptical listeners that just watch for the sake of entertainment. But I like to think that some of these couples are going to work outside of paradise. I'm going in optimistic. Well, if you're going to believe that, then you got to believe at this stage. We're getting into the I love yous, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Or, well, then, what are you doing? You're gonna go long distance when you're not sure you love someone. Okay, good luck. Now we get a preview of what's up next, Gary. Damar and our boy Ed come in. 2 people we love. There's simply no way Marissa goes out with Damar. I don't think. I think there's no chance. Do you agree?
No. 0 chance.
No, like for chance. Riley, like I almost think that Damar might even find. We might be getting straight up bamboozled with this edit. I could see Damar finding out that Riley is the one dating Marissa and being like, "Whoa, okay,
yeah,
I'll switch it up."
You gotta have it. Yeah. If Riley's got a code, I would assume his acquaintances have codes as well.
The man's got a code. Yeah, the code by association. Yeah, rubs off on you.
Exactly.
Now, our boy Ed arrives. And I don't know if you caught this. It was just a split second. He's here to sweep Natasha off her feet. Did you see that, Gary?
I didn't even know Ed was coming. I missed the part of the preview.
Not only is he coming, they smooch. Natasha and Ed smooch.
I take it back. Screw Ivan. Screw James. Natasha and Ed.
Dude, I can't believe you missed the preview because Ivan and Aaron are getting after it. They are face to face. Ivan goes,
no, I saw that part. I literally must have blinked and missed that.
Oh, yeah, dude, it was so quick. Yeah. The Ed part was so quick. So who do you think wins in that fight? I think it's going to be an easy draw. I think it's going to be a classic NBA fight where both guys are asking to be held back for an
And no
excuse.
one's
Like,
holding them back.
Hold me back. Hold me. No one's touching them. Like, hold me back, bro. Hold me back.
Yeah.
You're lucky, man. But yeah, I suppose Ivan kisses Chelsea. Was that the situation?
Sure. Yeah.
Aaron, again.
Aaron, man,
Stop doing body weight workouts and band workouts with James and get upstairs and literally just say good morning to the girl that you said you were super into. Like, he talked the whole day. He was talking about how this girl's out of his league. Yeah. So go pay attention to her. So go fight for her, man. Yeah, she's out of your league. This is going to take a bit of effort. But anyways, it looks like an electric episode. I cannot wait. But before we go, Gary, we got to get out our roses and our thorns. Now, of course, shout out to Chicks in the Office, who we kind of stole this segment from, but not really. So our rose is what we love the most. That's our highlight of the episode. Our thorn, what we're snipping off, what we're throwing away, what we're done with. And then we're going to give a couple of the episodes. So let's start with our thorns. I'm cheating as always. I always have a few because I can't narrow it down because it show's too goddamn good. Yeah. But you go ahead. Do you have any thorns for us, Gary?
My thorn is gonna be the good women that we lost tonight at the rose ceremony. R.I.P. Jasenia, what a catch. Demi, the soul of the show, really.
Yeah.
It's gonna be electric without her, but I'm gonna miss her. And Deandra.
Do we miss anyone else? Oh, and Tammy.
We don't
electric TV.
Electric TV, man. We're gonna miss her. She will be.
We are gonna miss Tammy. I will agree with that. Yeah, fair enough. That's fantastic. Did you have any others? You want me to jump in?
No. I'm good at narrowing them down. I know what I dislike.
I can't do it. I'll run through them quick though. Kendall's presence / Kendall and Ivan as a couple. Just get off the beach. Yeah. Get off the beach. You don't want to be there. And she's not entertaining. It's not even like a Tammy situation. Like, this is just
she's just like, it's just like soft crying.
Honestly, it sucks. Like, people in our comments are like, make Kendall Bachelorette. Sure. I mean, it's tough. I haven't seen her before this season. All I have to go off of is, like, honestly, and this sounds way too harsh, her kind of being a nuisance. Like, you're just kind of bugging me at this point. You're just a little fly floating around the relationship. Just to get out of here and go either find love off the beach. You seem like a fantastic girl. Be the Bachelorette. But get off my screen. Second of all, ATVs. First of all, on this island, I'm currently on an island in New Brunswick, Canada. ATVs everywhere. I'm trying to go for a run, and there's ATVs. Oh, I'm sorry, just plowing down my trails. I've seen enough this week. I'm sick of them. I also am sick of seeing them on this show. We're going to watch someone break their neck. I don't want it to be T and Blake. Yeah. I'm too in love with them. Toe cream. Get that whipped cream off, get these toes and this whipped cream off my TV. Everything else was hot. Everything else was sexy. Then I completely turned off. Tammy's friends are my last one. Got to get some new friends, Tammy. Yeah. Huge shot at her actual friends too. Imagine watching that and being like, well, I got bumped for this douchebag. Are you kidding me? All right. What do you got for your rose, Gary?
My rose is going to be Natasha's rose that she received. From Wells, from the Bachelor producers, whoever's idea was, good on you.
Seemed unnecessary to bring that one guy in. You know what I mean? Really who brought it out on a pallet. My he didn't seem camera ready.
Who is this guy? I was like, I don't know. A producer?
We've actually seen him.
A stagehand?
Before.
I know
when did we
he did look familiar.
Earlier this season, he came in for something.
Yeah.
I can't, but again, that's the whole point. I don't remember what. We can probably just have Wells walk off the street for a second.
I would love to get a nobody producer come in, and then them get like a little interview after with like a nameplate and just like
they start doing their confessionals.
Confessionals. It's just a one-time thing. I just need to happen.
I want to know what's going on in their mind. You're seeing everything go down. Who do you have your eye on?
Yeah. I actually have another rose though. I am cheating a little bit here. The editing, man. The editing on this show is unlike anything I've ever seen, but like A1. They have a clip for everything. They have a montage for everything. It just all works so well.
They've been hitting the montages heavy this season,
but it's been working. I've been loving it. So yeah, shout out to the editors on this show, man.
That's what they do best. That fantastic call. I'm gonna hit you with 3 quick ones. T and Blake, we talked about them. I love them. I'm all in. I'm giving a little bit of a shout out to Lil Jon as well. Lil Jon, he exceeded my expectations. He wasn't my favorite guest host. I think that goes to honestly, I loved Lance Bass. I loved him. Some people weren't a huge fan. I thought he killed it, but Lil Jon exceeded expectations, and Demi's legacy. We love you.
Yeah.
We hope we see you back. Little parting question, Gary. Does Demi have Bachelorette potential?
I think she does. I think it'd be electric. I don't know.
I think it'd be electric.
I don't know if she'd leave with anyone because I think it would be a dumpster fire of a season. But
maybe we even do our first like mixed gender season.
Yeah, that could be
how interesting would that be?
That would be a first, right? Obviously,
fantastic,
yeah.
Right? Yes, it would be a first. Yes, it absolutely would be. I would love to see that. I also think some people I saw online, because this question was posted online, I saw some people saying like, "Oh, she's been around too long." We've seen that before. We saw that with, personally, what I thought was the most entertaining Bachelor season of all time. Nick Viall. He was on the show 800 times.
Yeah.
Then he got picked to go on. We've seen this sort of thing before. It's not new. A
multi-gender season really like props up a lot of questions too. Like, what if the guys and the other girls start hitting?
They start hooking up with each other.
Like, there could be all kinds of shit going. It'd be like Bachelor in Paradise with like.
But I don't know. I think Demi's cracking skulls. I think that's not going down on her watch. But I would love to watch it.
I would love to see it. Like if they do that, I would love it.
I don't think Demi's leaving with one person. I could see her leaving with 3 or 4 though, which is like, hey, we'll just throw the rule back at it. It's Demi's world. We're just living in it. I'd love to see it. Maybe let us know your thoughts. Do you want Demi for Bachelorette? Because I don't hate that. I'm
down for it.
All I know is I need more of her in my life in some capacity. All right, let's jump in to close us off, Gary. Couple of the episode. What you got?
I'm going to go Riley and Marissa. I know it was a good episode for Serena and Joe, but they've been having good episodes the whole time. So get them out of the limelight and give it to
you. Love them too. I'd love to go back and tally up how many times you've given a couple of the episode to Riley and Marissa. I don't hate it though.
Wait, Riley, really? You think I have?
Yeah,
I don't think I have.
Think you have.
Really?
Oh, I think you have.
Damn,
yes.
I'm really a stan.
Not in a bad way.
No,
they're a great couple. They've been together. Oh
yeah.
I'm gonna go Joe and Serena. I actually don't even know if I definitely have, but not in too long. And the I love yous have been dropped, a landmark moment, and I'm very optimistic, extremely optimistic moving forward. But we'll see.
Yeah,
it's always a wild ride near the end. You think you know what's gonna happen? You never know who's coming down those steps. You never know. All right. Well, next week, we will have Carson back. He locked it in, maybe a bit prematurely, but he said, I guarantee I'm back next week. Screw the kids. He's throwing on a movie. He's going to the back of the classroom. He's going to log on to the whole podcast inside the classroom. I will be back in my home province doing the long trip back. Gary will be precisely where you see him now, producing away. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in for this a little bit out of the ordinary episode, but don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, review. If you own an iPhone and you normally watch this on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind, and you guys have done this pretty well as well, if you guys head over to iTunes, just drop that 5-star rating. It takes 10 seconds of your time. It means the world. But otherwise, you guys have been doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much. Producer Gary, remember,
a wet bird never flies at night.
Thank you and peace.